feel like the most fundamental purpose in life is really to find what your purpose is. I think that, we're all born to do something, and I think that it's something that may not come to us all, right away, but I think eventually when you do find what that is, I think that it's, that's what you're there for. I don't know that I can say like I know what that is for me yet, other than obviously being a mom and a wife, but I think that we're all here to make a difference in the community, and I think that that's something that I enjoy doing. So I would say, just trying to find your own purpose. Everybody's here for a reason. So I'd say my favorite quote, it's Mark Twain, and it's your two most important days of your life is, the first one is the day you're born, and the second is the day you figure out why. So Travis is my husband, and he's really super sweet. He's probably the most thoughtful person, and he's good at loving me. So I would say that he's just the most supportive, and I can come to him for anything, and he goes out of his way to just do things for family and drops everything for family. And I would say it's nice that I don't have to tell him to do stuff. I don't have to say, give him a honey-do list and say I need these things done. For the most part, he just knows to do stuff on his own. So I'm very grateful for that. It's funny, I guess I knew he was the one because he was always the only one. We both, we started dating so young, and he was my first boyfriend, and I was his first girlfriend, and that's kind of all that we knew, and we grew up together, went to college together, took microeconomics together. I took the notes, he explained to me what that meant, and it's always worked. We've always had a really good relationship, so there was never any reason to think otherwise. So I would say that, we always just knew that we were going to be the best for each other. And so I like a pretty good mix of music. I like reggae and some rap, and I like some 70s music. When I was a kid, I would say I was definitely more of a tomboy. I have 3 siblings. I have 2 brothers that are just older than me, and my sister's the oldest. And I would always play street hockey with them and soccer, and I was very much one of the boys. If I could have any car, I'd probably get a Camaro. A 68. We used to have one, and then Travis crashed it. So, but that just kind of brings me back to our college days. I like to get presents, even though I'm older, and that slowly that's changing. They're like, oh, we're not going to do presents for adults, just for the kids. I'm like, So my parents were born on the East Coast. My dad's name is Paul, and we all call him Pops, and all the kids call him G-Pops. And he grew up in Hartford, Connecticut, and he's an architect. And I think growing up he was kind of more serious, and he had fun with us and stuff, but he was always kind of more serious. And I think as he's gotten older, he's realized having fun is much more important. And he's always been kind of a jokester though, so he's been fantastic with the kids and everything, and is very much supportive of all of us. My mom also grew up on the East Coast. She was born in New Rochelle, New York, and she has 2 siblings, a brother and a sister. My mom was always really involved. She was a stay-at-home mom, and was always if you can ever, like, if there was one word to describe her, I think it would be sweet. Everyone just kind of knows her as that way. She's very nurturing. So I would say that would pretty much sum up my parents. I do resemble my parents. I would say we definitely have the McMahon eyes, my entire family. And a lot of times I do see my mom and myself. But if you look at me, you also see my dad too. So I think that, yeah, I definitely resemble my parents. So my siblings, I have 3 of them. The oldest is Mary Beth, and then there's Brian and Sean after her. So my sister Mary Beth and I are really close. She's 6 years older than me, so I think growing up I was probably closer to the boys just because age-wise. But as we got older, we started taking painting classes together and just doing things together. And so even though she's very different from me, she's a lot more stoic, I think, and can be a little bit more serious than I am. We kind of balance each other out, and she kind of helps me. I can go to her for if I have questions and things like that. She's very good about helping me with that kind of stuff. And then my brothers, I'm really close with my oldest brother, Brian, who, and I think partly because we both had kids around the same time. So his daughter is 3 weeks older than my son, and they're like best friends. So they're just adorable together. So it's been fantastic having him be there with me to experience all of those first moments of parenthood, because we were the first in the family to have kids. And so we're really close, and I'm actually very close with his wife as well. So that's been fantastic. And then sorry, I'm like running out of breath again. And then my other brother, Sean, is, he's about 1.5 years older than I am. And Sean's always kind of been the silly one. And we had a lot of fun growing up together. We were the closest when we were kids, and, got into all kinds of trouble together. And I would say family is probably the most important thing in my life. Obviously it's something that, I don't feel like I could live without. My husband is incredible, and having a son has changed things so much, but in good ways. I'd probably say that my proudest accomplishment is really my son. He's, and I don't know if everybody says that, but, he's so sweet and loving, and even though he has his moments where he's very Jekyll and Hyde, which I think every 3-year-old is, right now I'm learning patience, I would say, because I am ready to pop this baby out and not be pregnant anymore. But at the same time, I don't know if I'll be pregnant again. And so I'm trying to also savor these last moments and these last kicks in my belly that I don't know if I'll ever feel again. And even though he's like kicking me in my ribs and it hurts, be like, oh, that was sweet, thank you. What I like most about being a mom is seeing everything through their eyes. It's kind of like you get to be a kid again. My advice for mothers-to-be would probably to try to be patient with yourself. There's always going to be moments where you're not going to know the answer, or you feel like, gosh, like how can you get over this hurdle? And you always do. Like you just, need to kind of stick with it and know that, instinctually you're going to work it out and you'll figure it out. And whether that means that you also need to like ask for advice, or whatever it is. But I think that, parenting is challenging, but it wouldn't be rewarding if it wasn't. I think the best advice that I can give to my children is to be passionate and go after what you believe in, and to be confident. My biggest hope for Riley is that he is really strong and confident and finds love, and whether that's with family or with someone else. But I just really hope that he is happy. I think that's all like any parent could hope for, is that your child is happy and that they do something that they love. I want Riley to know about who I am now, in the sense of that I'm someone who really believes in him and really believes in his brother and believes in family and supporting one another. And I feel just that I want him to know that I love him and that I'm strong and I'll be there for him. And